Yeah, I didn't get to the best start, rolling onto the first flying lap for all of us, and a look oil Sayat managed to outbrake himself and went straight into the back of me. Yeah, ended up in the wall, and it looked like our qualifying session was over. Thankfully that I could reverse it out and wasn't too much damage. Puts you on the back foot slightly. I was still fairly relaxed. We have slightly more time at this track for qualifying because it is a street circuit, so we weren't under any time pressure. It was nice that both Fords were in the top 12 and into Q2. Yeah, I didn't think about it too much. You know, I obviously wanted to be on pole. Everybody was talking about, would you be nervous sitting on pole, or there's more pressure being on pole. There's actually probably less pressure being on pole at a street circuit because you've got a clear track in front of you. It just proves in race 1 where we got tied up with a BMW. You're in the danger zone being in midfield, so being on pole was a nice relief, and it was just, you know, making sure I got a clean start. I've done it many times. I know how to do it. It's just a case of putting it together. And you said make sure you bring it home in one piece. I think we got about 50 metres before it ended up with a wheel off it. So it didn't go to plan, but you can never back out moves, and you can't help somebody else hitting you. So it was a bit unlucky, I think, for us. But you have to deal with the situation you're in, so it was all about reporting back to the team what the damage actually was, so they could start preparing for that short window that we actually have of 10 minutes to repair the car. No, without doubt, you know, I do give them a hard time, and they do work really hard for me, and want to make the car the best possible. You can't fault them, and yeah, they do work very hard. The car, when we went on the track, it felt fine. The only thing that was out was the steering tracking. Steering wheel was offset, so from all the parts they changed to only have an offset steering was pretty amazing. All I needed to do was get a decent start. Once I got a decent start, I know that we qualified in 10th, so I know we had some sort of pace. So it was a case of just getting a clean start and moving on. Unfortunately, I couldn't pull out a gap on the BMW. He had a nice slipstream on me, and then shortly after that, the Chevrolets started cruising into the scene. There's nothing we could have done about the Chevrolets. One of the problems we had was trying to slow the car down, brakes overheating, and that was some of the damage from race 1. The brake ducts were all blocked off, so we weren't getting any cooling onto one of the discs, and that caused us fairly big issues, and resulted into an error on my part and allowed 2 BMWs to slip through. Yeah, it was interesting, and it was good fun, and yeah, I had to work for it, but you can't fault what the boys did to get the car back together in the time they had. Yeah, it's very different. You know, the walls are very close to the edge of the track. Well, there is no runoff anywhere, so you have to be very precise and totally confident in what you're doing. It's a great track. There's long straights, and there's big braking zones and big curbs we have to hit. So it's quite challenging for the car and the drivers. I'm satisfied, but I do want a lot more from every weekend. We just have to remember this is our third round. We can't expect too much. So to get a car on pole, be leading for 5 laps, and come away with some World Championship points is a good weekend for us, I think. Yeah.